The painter Gino Parin lived in the port city of Trieste before and during the rise of Italian fascism. Born Jewish, he converted to Catholicism. When Nazi Germany occupied Trieste, Parin was arrested and deported to a concentration camp in Germany, where he died. In this series, we encounter a life full of nuance and complications during the upheavals of the early 20th century. Episode 5. Companions.
The year is 1898. The Jewish-born Gino Parin just converted to Catholicism and is now getting married at a church in Munich.
And what's her name?
Ella
Auler. She is an American from St. Louis. Her mother was Bavarian, so Ella often traveled to Germany. But here is the twist. Gino and Ella have their first child 3 months after they got married.
What?
Well, the conversion, the marriage, and a pregnant Ella. All signs point to a shotgun wedding.
Who was the child?
Edgar, his son.
I wonder whether it was a loving relationship.
Well, what we do know is that they have a second child 3 years later. Marietta is born in 1901.
But already in 1906, Gino and Ella divorce. 8 years of marriage is not nothing. But then, artists.
It doesn't help that Ella had the reputation of, shall we say, being a disagreeable woman. At least that's what we've learned from Christine Labastille, Parin's great-granddaughter. Maybe Ella's strong personality and Gino's artistic spirit just did not match.
After the divorce, Ella returned to the United States in 1922. She died in 1962 and was buried in the city of her birth, St. Louis.
Their son, Edgar, by the way, was named after the famous writer Edgar Allan Poe. It's almost as if his parents knew that Edgar would become a writer.
Not only that, Edgar and his wife, Ingrid, became famous American writers and illustrators. They immigrated to the United States in 1929. At first, they created children's books that mostly depicted Norwegian folk tales, but then shifted to American heroes, 24 books in total.
And Gino's daughter, Marietta, also had a talent for art, just like her father and brother. But Marietta did not pursue it as a career. She moved to the United States and started a family. She was 22 when she had her son Friedrich Labastille in 1923.
Christine Labastille's father.
Sadly, Marietta ended her own life in 1938. But we do not know why.
Back to Parin. His amorous life, we assume, does not end with Ella.
Not by a long shot.
Fanny.
Fanny. Yes.
Fanny Tedeschi. Fanny enters Parin's life as a model.
Gino then lived in Via Besengi 13 in Trieste. He was registered as a roommate of Moishe and Fanny, who owned the building.
Fanny had striking features. No wonder Gino, the portrait artist, was struck by her.
He starts painting her around 1911. They are among Parin's most famous works.
Stella Maris, for example. Parin completed it in 1911. It features Fanny's portrait as Mary with the baby Jesus on her lap.
Which is intriguing in itself, because Fanny is Jewish.
But sits as a model for a Catholic Mary.
The painting is enchanting. Not only that, it is 7.7 by 4.3 feet.
Ginormous!
Do you mean Gino Morris?
I get it. Funny.
Madonna and Child in Stella Maris are set against the background of Trieste's port. The painting feels like an homage to a beloved city.
And a beloved woman.
Whoa, wait. What are you saying? That Stella Maris is also an homage to a beloved woman?
Yes. It wasn't too much of a secret. Fanny was his lover.
Fanny was Gino's model, muse, and lover. And
Fanny was married to Moishe. Wait, she's married.
And Moishe knew and accepted it. The three had, well, shall we say, a pas de trois, a dance for three.
That must have turned some heads in Trieste.
Perhaps. Trieste was a cosmopolitan city, artistic in spirit, frequented by Italian students of Sigmund Freud's budding psychoanalytic theories.
In other words, used to all kinds of creative relationships.
Moishe, Fanny, and Parin also shared their Jewish heritage. Jews were very much integrated in Trieste's urban life.
Their love triangle ended when Fanny died in 1927. She was 48.
She died of cancer.
And Gino immortalized her in his paintings.
There were other women.
In particular, Magda.
Magda Springer came into Gino's life around 1930. She was 21, he 54. There is a good chance they were romantically involved, at least for a short time.
Magda was also a painter, and Gino was a sort of mentor to her. A deep friendship developed between them.
In Parin's painting, Fanny has a strong, chiseled face, sometimes set against a dark background.
Magda, on the other hand, is portrayed in a softer tone, surrounded by rich colors, with a more rounded face, always smiling.
Whatever their relationship might have been, they surely had a strong bond.
Sadly, Magda might have been the reason that Parin stayed too long in Nazi-occupied Trieste.
She might have inadvertently contributed to Parin's demise. Rather than seeking safety in Switzerland, he stayed until the Gestapo arrested him.
Magda was devastated when she heard about Parin's death in the Bergen-Belsen camp. Christine Labastille told us.
Afterwards, Magda busied herself in work to keep away the pain of losing her beloved mentor.
She eventually secured possessions of many of Gino's paintings.
And she remained in Trieste for the rest of her life.
When she died in 1979, her brother, Necky Springer, took ownership of their art.
Around 1954, Necky moved to Los Angeles, and from there to Cottonwood.
Which is why many of Parin's and Magda's paintings ended up in Arizona. When Necky died in 2011, his collection went into the care of his niece, Patricia Mangini, in Sedona.
And so, we've come full circle. For it was Patricia who approached us to help her piece together the puzzle of Parin's rich and complex life.